What's up? Good morning. It's Monday. Today I've decided that rather than checking my strategy in MacroFactor and doing a coached program, I'm going to switch it and do a new program where I choose my own calories and macros. 1442 calories a day have been working out pretty well for me. Of course, I don't love to be this low calories, and it definitely was a hit to my ego that I had to drop this low to reach my initial goal. But at this point, I've been doing it for a few weeks and I'm quite comfortable at this amount of calories. So rather than doing the coached program, I'm just going to change my program altogether to reflect those calories, and we'll use that going forward. So I'm gonna do a new program, set program preferences. I'm gonna choose manual. I've actually never done this before, so we will see how it goes. I'm gonna do the same targets all week. I don't prefer to change them around day to day. Set your targets for the week. We will do 1450 calories. We will do 145 protein, 48 fat, sounds good. And then no, let's do 140 protein and then 110 carbs, and let's see what it says. Okay, it just does that. I thought it would like calculate based on like my macros to have exactly the right amount of calories, but that's fine. I guess we'll just go with that. So that's the new program. So going forward, we're just gonna stick with this 1450 calories, 140 protein, 48 fats, and 110 carbs are the goals for my daily calories and macros. I'm not usually super strict about it. I always prioritize protein, and I usually get more protein than is in my program. This week, I really want to prioritize my fat intake a little more because I've definitely been on the low end, and it might be one of the reasons I'm feeling especially tired lately. So this looks good. We'll stick with it this week, and I'm gonna do a walk pretty soon here, and I'll have a talk with you guys about my weekly priorities and intentions. So see you then. Hello, and good evening. It is still Monday, February 10th, and I'm getting my walk in. I'm hoping to get about 2 miles, maybe about an hour of walking. Monday is very low activity for me. Since I'm a slave to the treadmill right now, I figured why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone and talk about my priorities for the week. As you guessed, I do have a step goal, and this week it's gonna be 8,000 steps or more on average a day. Last week, I already met that same goal, and I just want to stick with it for another week, see how it affects my weight loss. I do suspect that I will have to keep increasing my step count as the fat loss phase continues, but we don't need to go balls to the walls right from the get-go. So 8,000 plus on average a day is what we're aiming for right now. My other priority is to really focus on eating a more balanced diet. So I've been a little low on fats lately, not good. So I really want to make sure I'm trying to hit my fat goal daily. The way I'm going to do that is add in either oils or fake butters or dairy products that have a higher fat content to the foods that I'm already eating. And it's probably not going to be just like dumping olive oil on my food or something like that, but in a way that enhances the flavor or adds flavor, with chili oil or sesame oil, or using some, what is that called? Like country crock? What do you call those things? I had it on my bread for lunch today. It's good. Less calories than butter, but still has a decent fat content. So the things that I am nervous about this week: psoriasis, obviously. It's coming back, not quite with a vengeance. It's like just a little pissed. And I'm noticing a couple more patches here and there, but they're not too bad, still manageable. I'm just trying not to get in my head about it. Just let it exist. Take care of it, baby it, use body lotion, stuff like that. Just do my best to manage it. A lot of times when you're worried about something, you can worry yourself sick, and I don't want that to be me. So it's happening, it's fine, and it's manageable. We don't want it to get worse. It might get worse, but that's okay. When it gets too bad, we'll figure out how to address it later on. Also, still worried about my energy levels. If last week was any indication, I should be pretty okay for this week as well. It's mostly about arranging my meal timing, my food intake, my caffeine intake in a way that sets me up for success. And I talked about it last week, how I changed my meal timing a little bit and I added in a bit more caffeine. And I think that's gonna go a long way towards keeping my energy levels pretty steady throughout the day, rather than like high in the morning and super low in the evening. I'd rather they be more steady, and it should work out. And lastly, I'm a little bit nervous about mental fatigue, but at the end of last week, we also strategized about that a little bit. If I find myself approaching burnout with all the things that I have going on with my life, on top of being in a calorie deficit and having to do more activity, I'll just have to dial back in some things, and it's not that big a deal. The fact of the matter is that right now I do YouTube for fun. It's not a source of income, and I don't plan on making YouTube my full-time job. So it's not really a priority. And if I have to do less, I'll just do less. And I can be okay with that. The action steps that I wrote down to support my priorities and to address the things that I'm nervous about are to take short walks more frequently to get in my steps but not sap my energy. So I'm considering starting my workout with a short walk and ending my workout with a short walk as well. You know, warm up a little bit, get the blood flowing before the workout. I do warm up before I work out, but I don't typically walk on a treadmill. So that might be one thing I can do. I could also potentially walk in the morning before work. Lately, because my sleep has been really bad, I find that I wake up quite early, much earlier than my alarm clock. So instead of just tossing and turning in bed, I could just get up and do like a 20 or 30 minute walk early in the morning. And that way it doesn't interfere with my lift at all. We'll see how that works out this week and if that's like a viable strategy. Another action step is to just add more fats into my foods. We already talked about that. Just, using sesame oil, using fake butter, using chili oil to enhance the foods that I'm already eating and to add fats back into my diet. To address my worries about the psoriasis, I will be sticking with my daily skincare routine, and I have added onto that daily body lotion. It's silly, who would have thought that using body lotion every single day would help the texture of your skin, but I've been doing it for the last few days. I'll lotion my legs in the morning, and I'll lotion my arms at night, and I kind of lotion my torso area morning and night. And there's actually a noticeable difference in my overall skin texture for the better. And I don't really like the feeling of being clammy and lotiony, but I think it's worth it. So I'm just going to stick with my skincare routine, and hopefully that alleviates a lot of the psoriasis symptoms. And then just to address mental fatigue in general is to do less on social media and deprioritize YouTube if I need to. I don't love editing, but I've been really excited about the things that I'm posting on my YouTube channel, so I really don't want to deprioritize it, but if I have to for my mental health, then it is what it is. I'm not really used to putting out weekly videos, and then I'm also trying to do weekly check-in videos on top of my other typical content, so the time it takes me to edit is quite long, and I'm not well practiced in video editing. Hopefully, I'll get better and faster with time and practice. So yeah, those were my action steps. More walks, but shorter walks, more fats, daily skincare, and less on social media if I have to. Then I just wanted to like check in with how I'm feeling, like mentally and physically. Generally speaking, mentally I'm feeling like pretty good in terms of like my fitness life. The food has been good. I don't feel hungry. Most of the stuff I'm cooking is pretty tasty and satiating. The workouts have been going well. Overall, I am inching towards my ideal physique. I can see changes in my body, and that's quite nice and motivating. So mentally speaking, on that front, all is well, all is good. Love to see it. But the bad sleep is not great. Like I said multiple times, I'm just not good at sleeping. And I've also been having a lot of dreams lately, quite vivid dreams. Last night I had a dream. About my cat that passed away recently and wasn't very nice. So wasn't really feeling great about that today, but it's not really like a regular occurrence. I'm trying to like let it go, not let it linger. So yeah, generally speaking, I would say I'm doing well, mentally speaking. Just doing the best that I can. Sometimes that's all we can do. And I definitely have felt like I've been able to let go of annoyances a little bit better lately. Like I'm making a conscious effort to do that. There are some situations where the annoyance cannot go unaddressed. And I would say those specific times for me are at work. I do work remotely and we use Slack to communicate. There have been a few times that I have received direct messages that I did not need to receive with questions that did not need to be asked of me specifically. And I find that to be pretty annoying, but I'm doing my best to control my irritation and answer the question while directing my coworker to a solution that I would find less irritating, if that makes sense. I understand that sometimes it's easier to just ask somebody directly, but I don't like to. Sometimes I shouldn't have to make my personal time available to my coworkers, I guess is what I would say. And in terms of just like other social media platforms, sometimes I've just been like straight ignoring people. Sometimes you can't let yourself read the comment section, and I've been reminding myself of that. In terms of how I'm feeling physically, honestly, I'm feeling good. I don't know. It feels weird. It feels weird that I'm not more tired and more sore than I am. And y'all see the workout footage. I know I don't include like the entire workout, and I don't want to think that I am putting on airs just for the YouTube video, but like you see the workout footage and it doesn't feel like I'm sandbagging. I do genuinely try hard, and I feel like my workout intensity has been relatively high lately. And I've been trying relatively hard to keep the intensity up throughout the workout, and I'm getting in my steps. So I don't know. All things considered, I feel like I say that too much, but yeah, feeling good. And adding more warm up to my workouts has been so good for my joints. It's really a bad habit of mine not to spend more time warming up, but when I'm not in a calorie deficit, I typically don't need it. I'll do a few sets of the exercise I'm about to do with lower weights. So, if I'm doing like lat pull down for 90 pounds for my working set. I'll start out with like 40, then do like 60, 70, 80 for a couple reps each, just to like prime myself. But I've been spending even more time than that. And I'll also warm up in between exercises. You know, if I'm jumping from a pulling exercise to a pushing exercise, I'll typically do an extra few sets ahead of that pushing exercise. That's all been helping a ton, keeping up with my supplements, keeping up with my workout drink, taking my creatine, making sure my protein is high. It's all been like, it's all coming together. It's all supporting my fitness journey, and it's been great. One thing that I did want to mention that I don't think that I have mentioned yet is that I have noticed I am losing a lot of hair when I shower. Obviously, everybody loses hair when they shower. It just comes out. It's natural shedding. But I think the amount of hair I lose has increased since my calorie intake has decreased. And that's not abnormal. It's something that usually happens when I'm in a calorie deficit. And I think it's something that usually happens when everybody's in a calorie deficit, because your body is not prioritizing your hair as much because it thinks you're dying. Not literally, but kind of. So I did notice that if you are also in a calorie deficit, you might notice that. I don't think you need to be super alarmed, but it could possibly do psychic damage. I know that I don't love it, but I usually find that when I increase my calories again, my hair thickens up a little bit in terms of like amount of hairs. So just something I wanted to put out there in case it's something you're struggling with. I guess the reason I didn't really mention it before is that it's pretty normal for me, and I've done multiple bulking and cutting cycles, so kind of know the deal. But if it's new to you, I wouldn't be too alarmed about it, unless it's like genetic pattern baldness setting in. Your hair is probably gonna right itself when you eat more calories again. I do need a haircut though. I want to get one in April in advance of going to Japan in May, so I'm trying to hold off. Anything else I wanted to mention? I wanted to mention also that I want to go out to eat. And I talked to Joey about it, and I think that we agreed that the next time we have Friday off together, we will go out for lunch. And I plan on making it fit my macros. Usually my go-to restaurant of choice during a calorie deficit is Vietnamese food. If you get a bowl of pho, it's not that many calories, especially if you only get like the lean beef. So I think that we will do that soon. I am also contemplating getting Popeyes. It's one of the closer fast food restaurants, and the Popeyes chicken sandwich is not super low calories, but if I just get the sandwich, I think it's like around 600 calories, so I could make it work. Let me know if you would be interested in a video about making macro-friendly or more nutritious choices when you eat out, because I could probably do that. I could probably do a what I eat in a day going out and still trying to hit my macros. It would be hard though. It would be hard to eat lunch and dinner out and still hit my macros, but if I planned ahead, it's probably possible. So anyways, I'm going to continue with this walk, and I will check in with you tomorrow for an upper body workout and probably another walk. Thanks for joining me for week 6. This is week 6. Thank you for joining me for week 6, documenting my calorie deficit fat loss phase.
Oh. Okay. Good.
Physique.
Now you feel the bonus one. That's all you.
Physique.
So take a little breather, and we'll do one last pairing.
You know, the workout got a little serious because I got pineapple hair. But anyways, today's Tuesday. It's so hard not to say Tuesday, but I'm trying really hard. I'm sorry. It's Tuesday, February 11th. Just finished up my upper body workout, the push-focused upper body workout. Yesterday, while I was walking, I said that I was gonna start walking before I work out. I did not do that today because I spent like an hour vacuuming like 3 floors of the house. So I felt appropriately prepared to work out without doing a warm-up walk. But I did, warm up my upper body in such a way that I felt ready to work out without breaking my elbows. Workout went pretty well. However, yet again, I have found out that I cannot do math. So for bench press, for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, we're in week 6 now, first workout of week 6. For the last like 4 or 5 weeks, I've been doing 115 pounds on bench press, but I had logged in my workout spreadsheet that I was doing 105, but it has been 115 this entire time. I don't know, it makes me feel bad that my math is bad, but makes me feel good that I'm doing a little bit more weight than I thought. Basically, it's the 45-pound barbell plus 35 pounds on each side, so that's 115. Been logging that entirely wrong this entire time, and I feel a little bit silly, but it doesn't really affect anything because the actual weight on the bar was right. It was just the weight that I had logged in my sheet was wrong. But yeah, workout went pretty well. Elbows feel pretty okay. I didn't really increase weights or anything throughout the workout, I don't think, but I feel like I got a few more reps than usual. I can check. I did get a couple more reps here and there, so that's nice. That feels good. I am gonna get a walk in, but probably a pretty short walk because I'm already close to 7,000 steps for the day. Yeah, I also wanted to mention that yesterday I said I wasn't sore, but by the end of the day, like, I was feeling a little bit sore in my upper back and my hamstrings, probably from the RDLs. I use like quite a lot of tension in my upper back when I'm doing like deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts because I'm trying to like pull the bar against my legs. So I often get really sore in my upper back, and that was the case. Still a little bit sore today, but it's not too bad. Hamstrings are only really sore if I stretch them. Not the worst, for sure. I'm looking forward to rice cake soup for dinner. First time I'm making it, but I think it would be hard for it to turn out bad. I'm sure you'll see it. It's also a snow day in Maryland today. It's snowing pretty hard out right now. It's accumulating. Now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get this walk in, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for the lower day, which of course I'm not looking forward to. See ya. Well, hello there. Fancy meeting you here at the treadmill on a Wednesday before a lift. It's Wednesday, February 12th, and today was supposed to be my quads focused leg day. However, my tummy is a little sus, not gonna lie. I don't feel like sick. I don't feel like I'm gonna throw up, and it's probably not food poisoning, but without going into the intimate details of my bowel movements, I don't feel safe or comfortable doing heavy leg workout. So today I'm gonna get in a nice long, low intensity walk here on the treadmill, and I will push my workouts back one day. So I will do my leg day tomorrow, which is Thursday. Usually Friday I don't work out, but Friday I will do shoulders and arms. And then Saturday I'll do upper, Sunday I'll do lower like usual. Sometimes these things just happen. It's not that big a deal. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do to try to get my workouts in as best as I can. And it would be a good time right now to talk about having a contingency plan when it comes to your fitness and health goals. So for me, my sussy tummy means that I'm not gonna work out today. So my contingency plan is to push my workouts back. Hopefully tomorrow my stomach feels fine. I have no issues with my bowels, and I can just get my leg day in and go about my business. But if I'm still not feeling so great tomorrow, we'll skip that quad focus lower body workout this week, and I'll try to do my upper body day tomorrow. Actually, my shoulders and arms day tomorrow. Even if my stomach is a little sus, I should still be able to do an upper body workout. You know, if I was like a cold or something, if I was like sick, I probably wouldn't work out at all. I would just throw it out the window. But yeah, just a little bit of a tummy troubles is not that big a deal for me. But I mean, there might be other reasons why you want to have some sort of a contingency plan. Think about how something unexpected could affect your workouts or affect your nutrition, and have a strategy for what you're gonna do when those kinds of things come up. We already talked a little bit about my contingency plan for workouts. If I'm feeling sick or if something comes up, I will take that day as my rest day from the lift. I'll try to get a walk in if possible. It might not be possible, depends on what the situation is. And I will push my workouts back. If I have to skip a workout for whatever reason, completely and utterly cannot do that workout, it's not that big of a deal. I'll still try to keep my activity level up, and I will do the workouts that I'm able to do. A situation like that might also be an injury of some sort. You know, if for some reason I have to go out to dinner, I'm just gonna do my best to make smart and nutritious choices at a restaurant. If possible, you know, if I know enough ahead of time, I will try to eat less during the day so that I can have more calories set aside for that meal out. And I might even eat fewer calories the day before and the day after to also account for maybe having to eat something higher calorie. But yeah, those are my typical protocols when it comes to emergency happenings. Maybe that'll give you some ideas for yours. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was that I had another really high weigh-in this morning. I showed a little clip of it, which I don't normally do. I don't normally show like my weigh-ins every single day, but it was particularly high. So I think I jumped up, I don't remember off the top of my head, jumped up from like 151 to like 153 overnight. And you know, it's probably because I had another giant bowl of soup for dinner. I think it's just staying with me, hanging out in the system, making me heavy. So again, I'm not letting it affect my mental health too much as I can, even though it's a little frustrating to see the scale like jumping up and down like that. But I know that if it's an overall downward trend, I'm still going in the right direction. Yeah, it's just one of those pitfalls of weighing yourself every single day. And also, I guess, a byproduct of eating most of my calories later in the day is that it's probably gonna be with me carried over to the next morning. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, just wanted to point it out. Since I'm not using MacroFactor to update my strategy every week anymore, it's also not that big of a deal. It's nice that there is that option, and I have used that option in the past where I let it update every week, but I just don't feel comfortable getting down lower than about 1450 calories. I had a brain fog moment. I literally immediately forgot what I was talking about. A high weigh-in, changed my MacroFactor strategy. I got the date right. It's Wednesday, February 12th. What else was I gonna say? I literally had something right there. I guess it can't be too important if I completely and utterly lost it from my mind. Today was a pretty low activity day for me, even though I did my household chores and I did my plant waterings. There just wasn't that much to do. So I'm probably gonna be on this treadmill for like an hour or so. I'm gonna watch a nice little YouTube video, probably a cozy Minecraft playthrough or something like that, and just get a nice long walk in. Yesterday I watched a video about the Greenland shark, that really long, old, stinky shark. It was quite interesting, but the end of the last 5 minutes of that video just ended in like a mega long ad. It was a little frustrating. Either way, I mean, get your bag, but didn't really make me want to watch more of their videos. Anyways, so moral of the story for today, have a contingency plan for when things come up. Look at your weigh-ins logically and try not to let daily fluctuations cause you psychic damage. Think about the long-term trends, over a week, over 2 weeks, over a month, over longer. And I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, since I changed my macro strategy and I'm not gonna let MacroFactor tell me what to do anymore, basically I'm not going to specifically stick to the original goal that I set for this fat loss phase. So I think my original goal was to get down to like 145 pounds or something. Maybe it was less, maybe it was 142, but basically throwing that out the window. I'm gonna stick with my 1450 calories, probably for the next however many weeks are left in this fat loss phase. And then we'll just keep going until early May and see where I get to. I'm sure that I will lose weight at a relatively slow pace. I'm also pretty sure that I'm gonna be happy with my results as long as my weight does keep slowly going down. I think the visual difference will be noticeable. It's probably not going to be super drastic, but it's definitely going to be noticeable. Even after 6 weeks and only losing like 1 or 2 pounds, I can see a visual difference. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers. You'll have to wait until the end of the series, but so far so good. And I'm not really too worried about a specific number or anything. Mostly that number was there to appease the MacroFactor gods. Whatever we end up with, I think it's gonna be a nice transformation. I'm gonna finish up this walk. You're gonna see the dinner, and I will check in with you all tomorrow about my stomach situation and the workout situation. I'm looking forward to dinner. We're having steak, and I'm gonna eat it like Korean barbecue style, with lettuce wraps, and it's gonna be good. And also the rice cake soup yesterday was pretty dang good. It definitely wasn't traditional. So in Korean and Chinese culture, maybe other cultures as well, they typically do like a rice cake soup for Lunar New Year, I guess. I am half Korean, but my family is not Korean. And I don't specifically celebrate Lunar New Year, and my immediate family has never really put a big emphasis on it either. So I didn't even know that that was a thing. I just picked up rice cakes at the Korean grocery store and thought it would be interesting. And then I looked up recipes about soup to make with it, and there we go. Happy New Year rice cake soup. It turned out pretty well. A lot of beef this week, because I bought beef. There was a lot of beef on sale at Walmart. I always buy the extra lean ground beef on sale that's about to go expired, and then I put it in my freezer immediately to keep it from going bad. That's my trick. I think that's probably common knowledge, or like a normal thing that most people do. But we eat a lot of extra lean ground beef, and it doesn't sell very well at the store, probably because it's more expensive. Like the fat content in the other types of ground beef, it just makes it too many calories for me to eat right now. Anyways, for real, ending this clip, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye. Mafik and I checking in. Say hi, Mafik. Today is Thursday, February 13th. I just finished the lower body workout that I was supposed to do yesterday, and then I wasn't feeling so good. My stomach was mostly fine today, and I am actually really glad that I did not do that workout yesterday, because even just walking on the treadmill, I had to like stop and use the bathroom a few times. But yesterday got in about an hour of walking, and then I actually did like a 20-minute walk before I did my lifting workout today, just to like bang out some of my steps. But since it's pre-workout, I didn't want to exhaust myself. So what I did was I walked on an incline. I think it was a 5% incline on the machine that we have. And I did an extra slow pace. So trying to engage like the legs a little more with the incline, but making sure that I'm not doing too much that I am tired before I even get into the lift. That being said, I actually was super tired today, which is interesting because I had a early sign off for work in advance of President's Day, and I kind of feel like I should have taken a nap, but I didn't because I try not to. It messes up my sleep schedule. But yeah, I was feeling super tired today, but I just had my normal amount of caffeine and I got through the workout. And even though the weights felt super heavy and I was just like not really into it at all, I checked my weights and reps from the previous week, and I actually did quite well, very comparable to what I did last week. I think maybe I got 1 or 2 reps less on the heavier leg press, but I did do more reps on some of the isolation machines. I think the leg extension, I think I did a few more reps, and then maybe on the adduction machine, I think I did a few more reps. So that's interesting. That's one of the reasons I like to keep track of these things, is like you can compare like how you're doing week over week. Yeah, so super tired today, but still got the workout in. Kind of goes to show that like sometimes you just gotta do it and be okay with possibly not having the greatest workout, but then also possibly having a pretty good workout either way. There's a difference between being lazy and being tired, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Today, I could have been lazy and not done the workout. I could have been like, yeah, I'm really tired today, so I'm just gonna skip the workout. And it would have just been pure laziness because there was actually nothing keeping me from doing the workout, and I did the workout and I had a pretty good workout. But there are definitely times like yesterday where I was not feeling well and I did not do my lifting workout. You kind of have to figure out what the difference is for you. There's definitely been times where I've been straight up lazy and not done a workout, and that's totally okay. But right now, when I'm trying to be really serious about my fitness for my fat loss goal, I'm gonna try to reduce as much laziness as possible and only take days off when I actually truly need those days off. I guess that's what I wanted to say about that. And also, I just wanted to show you, I don't think anybody particularly cares, but I got Botox injections. It's actually called Dysport. It's a different brand of Botox. But if you were curious, I showed a video like right after I got the injections done, and you could see that my eyebrows still worked pretty well. But like, this is me after about a week. You see my eyebrows still do move, but there's very little movement. Like, this is me trying to absolutely lift my eyebrows as high as possible and like trying to scrunch them up as much as possible. So those are some of the effects of Botox. And I think that, like, for me personally, most people probably wouldn't notice day to day because I don't engage with people IRL that much, and I probably don't emote that much because of that. But yeah, in case you were wondering, that's what Botox does. It keeps your face from moving too much and thus making wrinkles. Pretty interesting stuff. I get it done every 3 or 4 months, just a little bit, just like about $200. Anyways, I'm gonna get another walk in, probably about 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna make some noodles for dinner. It's a very noodle heavy day today. Anything to say, Mafik? Anything to add? No, I guess not. Okay. See y'all tomorrow. Good morning, happy Friday. Also happy Valentine's Day. It's February 14th and I just got back from my weekly grocery shopping trip. It's actually very early. Oh, I guess not that early. It's 9 o'clock. I went out earlier than usual, but let me show you a few of the things I got. They're nothing like too out of the ordinary. Stocked up on the Berea Protein Plus pasta. I got spaghetti, I got elbows, and I got penne. It's just good to have this in the pantry. I'm probably gonna make a creamy pasta salad sometime this week, and I will use the penne for that. It's gonna be good. To go in that pasta salad, I also got some banana peppers and some fat-free feta crumbles. This stuff is like really good macros. 28 grams is only 35 calories and 6 grams of protein, which is great. Pickles in general are usually really low calorie, so these banana pepper rings are only 5 calories for 30 grams or a quarter of the cup. And then my boss recommended these, the Cleveland Kitchen kimchi pickles. They are apparently lightly fermented. 1 ounce or 28 grams is only, where's the calories? It's only 10 calories. So sometimes I like to just have a little pickle on the side. So pick these up. Hopefully they're good. I mean, I'm sure they are good. I like kimchi and I like pickles, and it comes recommended. I picked up more of that Hawaiian keto bread because we enjoyed it so much. Just to remind you, 1 slice is 35 calories and 5 grams of protein. Apparently they have 2 other flavors of this keto bread. There's, I think it's like a white bread and a seeded white bread. I really enjoyed the Hawaiian, so I got it again. And then ham for sandwiches. I like honey ham, but I also got Black Forest ham. And then I also picked up these sugar-free Russell Stouffer dark chocolate mix. 2 pieces is 120 calories, so 1 piece is 60 calories. I probably won't be eating a lot of these. I got these mostly for Joey. He still has a lot of calories for snacks and stuff. But honestly, this is kind of nice to have before like a workout or something when you just need like a little extra boost. Apparently it's made with stevia. 9 grams of fat, 17 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of protein. It's just no added sugar. And then the last thing is Fairlife milk. I get the fat-free Fairlife milk to put in my coffee in the morning. It is higher protein than regular milk, and that's why I buy it. However, it is more expensive. For me in my area, a half gallon is $5, and it's 80 calories for 1 cup, 0 fat because it's fat-free, 6 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of protein. So yeah. We'll go through these pretty slowly. If it's just me drinking it, go through it pretty slowly because I only use it for coffee. But you know, when Joey's when he's in his snacking era, we go through the milk quite often because he eats a lot of cookies. Love having this just like stocked in the fridge. Okay, last thing I wanted to show you. I was influenced by my friend JD Gaines, and I bought a Monstera. I'm not really a Monstera girly. I don't think I have any. I don't think I've ever had a Monstera before, but Walmart had Monstera Thai Constellation and it was $30, which, I mean, if you're not a plant person, I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's a pretty good price for a relatively rare plant. So I picked one up. The reason I haven't gotten a Monstera before is because they get absolutely massive. And I don't have a lot of places in my house for a truly massive plant, like the kind of plant that will like cover an entire wall or take up an entire corner of a room. But I was influenced. My friend Jade loves Monstera and I like the variegation, so I picked it up. I know at the very least, this is a pretty popular plant, so if there comes a time when I don't want it in my house anymore, I'm sure I can sell it, or ideally, I would like to give it to Jade, but she doesn't live in the same state as me, so that might be a little difficult. But yeah, pick this up, very cute. I need to wash it and treat it before I let it hang out with my other plants. I definitely saw some fungus gnats at the Walmart, and I really would not prefer to have fungus gnats. So anyways, on the agenda today, because I took my day off on Wednesday, I will be working out today. It's shoulders and arms. So I will check in with you after that workout. I also probably need to get in another walk. Probably not too long, maybe 30 or so minutes, because I got extra steps going grocery shopping, but it's usually not enough to like get me where I need to be. I accidentally got over 10,000 steps yesterday. I didn't mean to, but I was watching a very interesting YouTube video, so I kind of lost track of how long I went for it. I think I ended up going for like 30 or 40 minutes, I don't know. Anyways, talk to y'all later. Still Friday. Just finished my shoulders and arms workout. Maybe I have a pump, I don't know. I'm going to drink this protein shake and get my walk in. I haven't had an actual meal yet today, but I kind of want to get this walk in right after my lift so I don't disrupt the rest of the day later on. I need to do a lot of editing, so I'm gonna down this shake and I'll have my lunch a little bit later. The workout was pretty okay. I don't usually work out this early in the morning. I mean, it's not that early. I started around noon, but I typically don't work out until like 4 or 5 in the evening. So it's a little weird for me. I did have more caffeine than usual this morning, just because I had to like go out in public and do things. So yeah, that's a little different than normal. It was a decent workout and I'm feeling pretty good. My inner thighs are actually a little bit sore from the adduction machine yesterday, but it's only really if I specifically stretch them. I noticed that while I was warming up. But other than that, feeling pretty good, no soreness or anything like that. I did put some sweet potatoes in the rice cooker, so that's probably gonna be part of my lunch. I ended up doing like 4 small sweet potatoes, and I'll divide it up and have those for lunch for the next couple days. Like a little mini meal prep. I think maybe it would be good to get some more dense carbs in my lunch rather than just like water vegetables. So we'll see if that helps out with my stomach a little bit, but no tummy issues to report today. So I'm gonna get this protein shake down and then I'm gonna walk on the treadmill probably like 30 to 45 minutes. I'll just put on a YouTube video and see where the day takes me.
They just can't. And if you have rigorous studies to send me, they'll refuse to say, yeah, but all these guys are bought and sold.
Today is Saturday, February 15th. It really doesn't feel like a Saturday, but I mean, I work on Saturdays, so does it ever? Workout was pretty good. It was the back focused upper body day. So started out with like pull downs and rows and stuff. My right bicep is super sore, and only the right bicep. The left feels nothing. Right bicep, very sore. I have a concern, but I feel like the reason it's so sore is because I didn't have my usual Friday off. You know, I took off like Wednesday, worked out Thursday and Friday. So I basically had 2 upper body days in a row because yesterday I did shoulders and arms. I think normally it wouldn't be a situation like this. I typically have enough time to recover between my workouts, but it was like a little concerning because it was so sore. I still went ahead and did my laying bicep curls, but I definitely did not push myself as much as usual. I also really considered just not doing it at all, but I wanted to make sure I just kept up my energy expenditure anyways. Overall, besides the whole bicep situation, the workout went well. Using the straps for my pull downs and my rows has really helped a lot. And I did go up weight this week on the pull downs and I got quite a few reps with that, although there was kind of a steep drop off. Either way, went pretty well, definitely felt it. I wanted to mention that I've been wearing my walking shoes for upper body days because I just want to feel comfy. I talk more about it in the week of workouts video, but I don't think I really mentioned it in one of these weekly vlogs. But yeah, a cushy like running or walking shoe is not the best for a leg day, but for an upper body day, it's totally okay. It's just when you're doing leg exercises, you want to have just like a really stable base, and I prefer to wear Converse on those leg days. My sleep has been really bad lately. I think it's a known situation that when you're in a calorie deficit, your sleep gets worse, which is kind of counterintuitive to me because I would think that since I'm more tired, I would be able to sleep more and better, but it's been the opposite. I don't get good sleep on the regular anyways, even when I'm not dieting, but it's been like really, really bad lately. Like a lot of tossing and turning, just like not being able to get to sleep, not being able to stay asleep. I've been waking up before my alarm goes off almost every day. I set my alarm for like 7:30, but I've been waking up like 7 a.m. or earlier, and it's kind of annoying. I don't have very good sleep hygiene for sure, 1000%, but it's usually not this bad. I also dropped the tiny weight on the cable machine and I chipped the floor a little bit. To be honest, I don't really like these tiles anyways. I'm not really that worried about it. I might mix up some resin and fill in the hole, but it's not that big a deal. If you're gonna do a situation like we do where we hang the little plates on the stack of the cable machine, just be careful about that. Usually it doesn't happen, but today it did. And I have a crack in the floor to show for it. Shout out to my weird but very nutritious girl lunch of chicken thighs with barbecue sauce. Sugar-free Sweet Baby Ray's is my barbecue sauce of choice. Korean pickled radish, sweet potato, and broccoli. I was just trying to like use up some leftovers in the fridge, but it was good, but very random. Not what I would normally choose to eat for lunch, but I didn't want those foods to go bad. I need to get my walk in. I'm at about 5,000 steps, so I have a ways to go. I'll probably go 30 or 40 minutes, we'll see. And then I also just wanted to show you, I was trying to do, if you follow Lean Beef Patty, you've probably seen her do, I feel like this is her iconic pose. It's really difficult to do, to like pop the booty and then like, am I doing it? Let me know in the comments. I can't like see myself very well. Am I doing the Lean Beef Patty pose? My torso rotation is really bad, so I would not be surprised if it didn't turn out very well. I feel like my upper body is really starting to lean out. Still not so lean in the stomach area, but like my chest and shoulders are getting very lean. I also feel like my legs and butt are slimming down, which is not necessarily what I want, but can't help my genetics when it comes to fat distribution. I'll talk more about it tomorrow when I do like the full on check-in, but the scale weight has been very up and down this week, more so than usual. And I would say on paper, it doesn't really look like my weight is trending down, but visibly, I definitely feel like I'm looking a lot leaner. Look at my arm right here. Is it the lighting? Why is my shoulder striated? I don't know. So yeah, gonna get the walk in, taco rice for dinner. Tomorrow is leg day and we'll do our weekly recap. So see you then. My feet.
Yeah. If you haven't tried this before, I would definitely recommend it. It will smash your spine with lifts. For the last exercise, we set up the incline bench for cable lat pullovers. It was nice and stable. The joke out here, really focus on letting my shoulder blades lift at the top and then pulling down and through. I actually worked with Joe for 3 hours. So it wasn't just training. He also helped me mobilize my shoulders and gave me some very helpful posing tips as well. So the entire session.
Checking in on Sunday. It's February 16th and I just finished up the glute focused leg day. It was a pretty good workout overall, about 90 minutes, including the warm-up. Deadlifts were a bit of a struggle bus, but they usually are. Romanian deadlifts, stiff leg, straight leg sort of deadlifts. But I think next week I'm gonna go up in weight. I did 3 sets of 10, and the rep range I set for myself for this exercise is 6 to 10. So I think I might go up to 160 next week. This week I did 155. Last week I also did 155. So next week I will increase weights on that, but I think that's the only thing for this workout. Not much else to report. Not feeling too sore or too tired in particular. My right bicep that I mentioned yesterday was pretty sore, is recovering nicely. So definitely just a matter of kind of having a weird workout week because I had that stomach issue earlier in the week. The only other thing to mention today would be the start of my menstrual cycle, according to my birth control pills, but I'm only having a little bit of spotting. I'm not gonna go like too deep into it, but generally speaking, my menstrual cycle doesn't mess me up too bad. I rarely have heavy flow and I rarely have bad symptoms, but if you are somebody who menstruates, your cycle might really drastically affect your fitness and your energy levels and how strong you're feeling and stuff like that. So if you are that kind of a person, make sure you're kind to yourself with regards to your workouts being affected by your hormones. My back is very tired from those Romanian deadlifts, but not injured, just tired. So no worries there. I already have in about 7,000 steps today, so I'm just gonna do a short little walk and then I'm gonna have a very nice rice bowl for dinner. I will catch up with you later today or tomorrow morning with the weekly recap. Spoiler alert, I hit a new low for my fat loss phase this morning, although this week in general, my weight has been fluctuating a lot up and down. I'm excited about that new low weigh-in, but you know, just keeping my expectations realistic. Yeah, catch up with y'all later. Bye. Hey, back upstairs to do the weekly reflection, and I was freezing cold, so I put on a Snuggie. Is that what this is called? It's like a giant hoodie blanket, basically. It's very fuzzy and warm. So let's just recap what the priorities were for this week. I wanted to get at least 8,000 steps a day on average, and then I wanted to cultivate a more balanced diet with a higher fat intake because I was lacking in the week before. In terms of the steps, I absolutely knocked it out of the park. I had over 10,000 average a day. There were some days that I was under 10,000, but I hit at least 10,000 3 times a week, and every other day was in the 9,000. So absolutely blasted through the 8K and exceeded that. But in terms of getting more fats in my diet, I did not do a good job. So the previous week, February 3rd through 9th, I actually had 36 fats on average. And this week, February 10th through 16th, I only had 31 fats a day on average. I really felt like I was trying to add more back in. There were some days where I added like chili oil and just had like straight up vegetable spread on my keto bread. But yeah, still, I did not really increase my overall fats that much. No, at all. I didn't increase it at all, unfortunately. So that's something I'm going to have to work on again for next week. Yeah, I'm a little surprised because I did make a conscious effort to do that. And I thought that by the end of the week, it would have increased. For this week, I was nervous about my psoriasis. I was nervous about my energy levels, and I was nervous about mental fatigue. I am happy to report that my energy levels and my mental fatigue have been very manageable and haven't had too many issues on that front. I mean, there have been times where I've been feeling a little bit tired, but I increased my caffeine this week, and that really did help with my energy levels. I prefer to keep my caffeine intake very moderate, like just in everyday life, so that when I am in a fat loss phase, I can increase it marginally, maybe not marginally. I can increase my caffeine intake and it will actually be quite effective. Yeah, and then the mental fatigue, I just like didn't have that many issues this week. I kind of have been a little less active on Discord and social media in general, just engaging with what I enjoy and not really engaging with stuff that could do potential mental damage to me, and it's been helping a lot. Unfortunately, I'm noticing more patches of psoriasis. Overall, that has been manageable with like body lotion and skincare, but yeah, I am not excited to see more of it. It's something that I'm going to have to address if it gets worse and it gets unmanageable, but at this point in time, it is still pretty manageable. I'm not really itchy or scratchy or flaky, and it's simply because I am lotioning my body nonstop. But I can see like the actual patches of like redness that are not really going away and becoming more frequent, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just gonna try not to let it bother me too much. Keep doing what I'm doing with the skincare routine and hope that when I increase my calories and go into maintenance or go into an improvement phase, that my skin improves as well. So yeah, on all fronts, overall doing well. Had a couple hiccups, but nothing that really set me back. Earlier this week, I wasn't feeling so great mentally, but as the week progressed, I was feeling a lot better. Joey and I have been watching What We Do in the Shadows, and it's really funny, and it's really been bringing up my mood in the evening. Highly recommend it. We're watching on YouTube. It's basically, I don't know, I haven't watched The Office, but that's what Joey compared it to. It's like The Office, but for vampires, I guess. But it's super funny and really enjoying it. And I would definitely recommend that if you're in a calorie deficit, that you make an effort to surround yourself with like fun and laughter and things that you like truly enjoy, because I find personally, and maybe other people can corroborate this, but when I'm in a calorie deficit, just like small things that wouldn't normally get me down or small things that wouldn't normally irritate me can have like a much greater, longer lasting impact. So I'm doing the best that I can to just not be around those things right now. Like I've definitely made a conscious effort on like Instagram when I'm just like browsing to just completely ignore some types of content. I've mostly been focusing on like plant content, planner content, some fitness content, but I've been doing my best to avoid food content, and I've also been doing my best to avoid news, current events, and like sad animal videos. I do like animal videos, but sometimes they get you with like the really tragic stuff out of nowhere, and that's like really, that's a big red flag. That's a big no bueno for me right now. Just doing my best, but feeling really good mentally here at the end of the week, and I love that for me. You know, the food has been good, and the workouts have been good, and overall I And I'm seeing like actual visible progress and seeing the scale weight trend down over time. And that's really a good feeling. And that's also helping a lot. So feeling physically, just like aside from the psoriasis, I'm doing pretty well. I think that my face is looking really good, and like aside from the psoriasis, my body skin is also looking really good, and that's kind of like a mood booster. Sleep has been bad, but it hasn't been affecting me that negatively, and I haven't got any like injuries, no prolonged aches and pains. I do get delayed onset muscle soreness every once in a while. My back is pretty tired from those RDLs earlier, but I definitely don't feel like I injured it. My bicep from the shoulder and arms day, my right bicep only got super sore that one day, but it healed up pretty quickly. It's a little concerning that it was only that one single bicep, but the soreness didn't last long, so I'm not really worried about it. I don't think I injured myself that way either. So yeah, overall, physically feeling pretty dang good, and I love that for me. So let's do a quick recap of my macros. So my strategy for this week was 1450 calories a day, 140 protein, 48 fats, and 110 carbs. Now, I do want to acknowledge that I don't think that the macros exactly equal the calories, which was kind of weird when I set that up earlier this week with MacroFactor. But my overall calorie average for this week was 1,431, so a little bit under my goal. My protein intake was high. It was 152 on average a day, which is about 10 grams more than I was aiming for. Fats, I only got 31. We kind of discussed that earlier. And carbs, I got 140 on average a day. So generally speaking, sticking with my macros, definitely within range of my calories, and overall a pretty good week for me macro-wise. I just really need to focus on getting those fats up. We talked about the steps. Let us talk about the weigh-ins. I had a very strange weigh-in week. Started out right around 151, and then on Wednesday I hit a very weird high of 153.4. I, see some weight fluctuations day to day, but typically not a full 2 pounds. Thursday, I was back down to about 150, but then Friday, I was back up to 152. Saturday, still around 152, but then today, this morning, I weighed in right under 150, which is a new low weight for this fat loss phase. So some very up and down weigh-ins this week, but overall still trending down, which is what I want to see. I acknowledge this sometimes, that the daily weigh-ins can be a little taxing on the mental health, but for me, it's just something that I've done for a very long time when it comes to fat loss phases, and I have really been able to separate myself from the specific number of day-to-day weigh-ins, and it doesn't feel great to have a high weigh-in, especially when you feel like you have really good adherence to your diet and exercise routine. But at the end of the day, the weight is still trending down, and I have been very adherent to my routines. Let's talk about the food, which is my favorite part. I have been obsessed with that Hawaiian keto bread. I don't know how they make it, but I really like the texture, and the taste is pretty good. I swear I love it more than that old time bread that I've been eating for so long. I'm definitely going to continue to buy this. I think next week I need to buy 2 loaves of it because I've really been going through it. So I've been eating that a lot as a snack, just like with a little bit of vegetable butter spread. Sometimes if I have the calories for it. Lunches this week in general, though, were pretty basic. I had some chicken tenderloins with fruit and pickles. I had another chicken tenderloin situation with salad. I had some chicken tenderloins with soba noodles. They were green tea soba noodles. They have a really interesting flavor. The noodles were a little bit higher calorie, so I wasn't able to eat a whole lot of other stuff with that, so it just ended up being like chicken noodles and broth with a little side of pickles, but I don't hate that. I prepped some more sweet potatoes, not the Japanese kind this week, but some regular sweet potatoes in the rice cooker, and I ate some of those for lunch. I tried the kimchi pickles that I got at the grocery store, and they were actually really tasty. A little bit higher calorie for a pickle, but very tasty. Yeah, just been eating some really basic low-calorie lunches. But in terms of dinner, we've had some really good dinners this week. Some instant ramen earlier this week. It is the Maggi Marsala curry flavor. I think it's kind of like a dry stir-fried noodle. Joe and I love that, and I've had some veggies on the side with that. I made that rice cake soup the first time ever making it. It turned out pretty good. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to taste like because I've never had it at a restaurant or cooked it specifically from a recipe, but the way I made it was pretty good. I definitely would make that again. Had steak, the flank steak I showed you from last week that I got at Costco. I ate that kind of like Korean barbecue style with lettuce wraps and pickled radish. Very tasty. I made some, this is kind of like a recipe I concocted myself. I call it XO noodles. So XO sauce is it's a Chinese seafood sauce. It has like dried shrimp and scallops in it. It's really good. It's a little bit spicy, but I basically concoct the sauce around that sauce and then I mix it with noodles. We had it with shrimp, cilantro, scallions, and I tried out a very interesting sweet potato noodle. It's thick. So normally I would use sweet potato noodles in Korean japchae, and I've never had the thick version, but I tried it with these noodles and it was pretty good. It was very interesting. They have a very interesting texture. I would highly recommend you try it if you haven't. It's like very chewy and like a very cool texture, but maybe it's not for everyone. I really enjoyed that since it was kind of like a higher calorie sauce, had that with shrimp. We also had congee this week, which is basically rice porridge, and it's very filling because it's the same amount of rice that I normally cook per serving, which is 100 grams dry, but it has almost like twice the amount of water, so it's very filling. Ate that with, what did we eat that with? Chicken and mushrooms. Yeah, had that with chicken and mushrooms. Very good. It's always like just an easy staple. And then Saturday we had taco rice with ground beef, and then earlier today I had another rice bowl with ground beef, but kind of like Asian style, almost like bibimbap. So I had it with some seaweed and kimchi, and I kind of just mixed it all together. It was really good. Overall, just like a really enjoyable food week as usual. It's been very refreshing not to feel like super limited on my calorie deficit. Obviously, I am not eating everything that I would love to eat, but just by making like some substitutions and smaller portions, I'm still able to eat a lot of the foods that I like, which I love. Overall, just trucking along. I'm in the groove of things. I'm hoping my psoriasis doesn't get worse, but everything overall has been really manageable so far. I had a really good week, aside from those like weird high weigh-ins, which now that I'm thinking about it, probably came from the soup and the congee filling me up. So yeah, there we go. I forgot about that. That happens, yeah, when I eat soup or when I have something really filling from the day before. That's probably what it was, but still, like, not my favorite to have those like high weigh-ins, but sometimes it's worth it when you have something really tasty and filling the night before. Anyways, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comments section and I'll get back to you. Any ideas you have or videos you want me to make, let me know as well. I will do my best to do those things for you. I got a request for a gym tour video, so I would like to film that soon. We got most of our gym equipment through a very strange set of fortunate circumstances for us, so it's probably going to be more of a story time than anything else, but I do want to make that video. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, that's fine. You can give the video a thumbs down. If you're new here and you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. My name is Chris, aka Terrible Hime. Don't forget to be responsible for your own gains, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!